Hello everyone, how are you doing today? Many times people ask this question that which programming language they should learn to become a better programmer. Simple question, isn't it? But the answer is not as simple as you are expecting it to be because you cannot become a better programmer just by knowing a programming language, no matter how good you know a programming language. Yes, that's right. No matter how good you know a programming language, you cannot become a better programmer until and unless you understand the ecosystem associated with it. Remember, your programming language, the program you create, doesn't run in a vacuum, right? It runs in an ecosystem, and the awareness about that ecosystem is a must for you to become a better programmer. So you might be thinking, what am I saying? If you go for any programming interview, you are just asked programming questions, right? And if you are given an online test, it also contains a programming question, right? Absolutely right. And you must know about all those things. But the thing which I'm going to tell you today will not only help you in writing better code, but will also help you when you go ahead and start designing or creating the architecture of a system. Not only that, even when you are going to discuss about these things with other people, whatever I'm going to tell you is going to help you there also. So be with me till the end. Now, before I go ahead and start that, let me tell you that our lives are not single dimension things, right? Same is true for software development. Imagine an example of Google Maps. You put your source and destination and you get the best route. So how does Google Maps gives you these things? Google Maps can give you the route from source to destination if it had only one thing, right? The routes and the roads which are there in the city. Nothing else is needed, right? If you just know the routes in the city, you can give the route. But do you get answer from Google Maps only based on this information? The answer is no. Google Map takes more information like, what is the average traffic speed at that particular road, whether that road is open or closed and what time it is, right? And many other things, which means that Google Map takes care of multitude of things before coming up with the best route. And the same is true for software development. Now, before I talk about the 4 things which you must know to become a better programmer, let me talk something about programming language. We learn programming language to write programs, right? What is a program? No matter which programming language you take, each and every program consists only and only of 2 things: data and the functions which act on that data. No program has anything else, right? It's the data and the function that acts on that particular data. We will come back to this function and data part in some time, but let's start with the first thing which you must know to become a better programmer. To write a better software, you must know about the hardware. Yes, awareness about the hardware. There are 2 kinds of awareness. First is that whatever program you are writing, which hardware it is supposed to run. Mobiles, your laptop, or in a server in a data center, right? Because our code, whatever code we write, is not gonna automatically scale or descale on its own, right? It is not artificially intelligent yet. This is what we need to do. We need to write. So we need to make sure that we are using server resources, whether it is in constrained state or abundance state, in a better way. So if we know where our code is gonna run, we are gonna write better code. Now, along with this, we must also know some details about the hardware. Like, we know that everything executes in CPU, but what is a L1 cache? What is a L2 cache? What is a RAM? L1 cache may be, exclusive to each core, but L2 cache or maybe RAM is common across multiple cores. What is a hard disk? What is SSD? What is the speed difference between hard disk and SSD? How the memory allocation mechanism actually works in the operating system. Let me give you a very simple example. If you are allocating a small amount of memory, small chunks of memory, and deallocating it with the same speed over a period of time, because of the fragmentation in the memory, your code is going to slow down, right? This is one of the simplest thing you must know. So along with this, there are many other things you must know about how the hardware works when you do something from your software. This was the first thing which will help you in becoming a better programmer. Now the second thing. In today's world, everything works on the network, and that network is IP networking, Internet Protocol Networking. So you must know how IP networking works. That means you must know IP addresses, what are IPv4 addresses, what are IPv6 addresses, loopback addresses, MAC addresses, what is meant by NATing, what are private range addresses, how DSCP works, and also if you can manage the firewall in your system, you must tweak some things to learn how firewall works, how ping or ICMP or traceroute work, how TCP work, how UDP work. Now when I am talking about that you should know all those things doesn't mean you need to be an expert in all these things. Which means that when I say that you need to know about TCP, it doesn't mean you need to know each and every header of a TCP protocol. No, you just need to be aware of it so that if it comes to the point where you need to look into this, you can read about it and look into it. So the second thing is awareness about IP networking. Let's talk about third thing, and this is where I will come back to again our function and data. Now as I have said that each and every program contains data and function. Now when we start learning programming, we create data on the program on our own. But in a production system, we end up using database to fetch data as well as to store data, right? Think about any production grade system. You will not create a production grade system which is not having a database. Even for storing logs of what is happening in your system, you need a database. So item number 3 is each and everybody who want to be a better programmer must be hands-on in at least one of the SQL and NoSQL database. It doesn't matter which database they are. They must be hands-on. Hands-on means, again, not necessarily expert, but know how it works so that they understand how they can interact with database. And believe me guys, the knowledge of database drastically alters the way we write our code, the way we write our program. Choose one SQL or NoSQL database, get your hands onto it. So out of these three, if you ask me, my first preference will be database. Go get a hands onto some database and know about it. And the fourth and last thing is awareness about cloud computing. So at the bare minimum, you must know about containers like Docker, for example, and containers orchestration like Kubernetes. Again, you need not to be an expert, but it's good to write at least one Hello World program to understand how it works. Along with that, if you can write, even deploy a small website in Google Cloud, Amazon, AWS or Microsoft Azure, or even use Oracle Cloud, you will get a very good understanding of how the cloud computing works, because the cloud provider nowadays not only provides you some space to run your code, it also provides lots of ready-made solutions which we can use. So it's good to know about those ready-made solutions so that we can make use of it. So these were the 4 things about which I wanted to talk to you about. Thanks a lot people. Thanks for watching. Till the next time we meet. Good day, goodbye. You take care.